You know the best way, the best thing that we can do? Laura Mora didn't do it. The closest it's come to is Dresden. Okay. And Laura over there, Night Rider. That's the closest they've come, but then they screw it all up, all right? Teresa's dead. It's her rapport. It's Teresa's key. Okay. And then now we have Candace Owens and Brenda Schuler. Okay. Well, that's all talk. I'm sick of listening to you people. I don't want to fucking see these people anymore. Well, I think, who gives a shit? Aha. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to go into Second Life, let's say, or some other simulation program of just people. And we got that map, right? The forensic map. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to detail it. Put it in a file. Boom. And then we're going to design whatever route that she would have taken. Okay. Just that area. We put that into a simulation game. Program that into a simulation game. Google Earth. Poof. Just cut out an area of Google Earth. Poof. Make it a simulation game. Teresa's house, her entire trip, and we'll put that into, I don't know, what is it, city driving simulator, where you're sitting there, you're looking at everything that goes by. Basically, you just go around it and you film it in street view, except live. So all we're going to do is just take a camera crew with a front, side, rear, and drive the routes. Get it all in, and then it'll render, and boom, you'll have it. Just like that, Now then, next. Well, we can actually have the character Teresa, we can have the character Stephen, we can have the character Brendan, we can have the characters, and these are all simulated characters in a simulation game. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have Brendan Dassey as the director. Whatever Brendan says, we go do. In a simulation game. One that has no motive. Simulation game. And that simulation game will go anytime that there's a problem. Take it into consideration here. The entire garage scene is produced by DailyWire, Candace Owens, whatever, but directed by Brendan Dassey. Now, he goes in there and he starts telling everything that's happening in here. All right. That Suzuki, that's sitting in there. There's this oil spot. And this oil spot has rings in the oil spot, which means when the oil got there, it was wet over a larger area round. But as time went by, it's evaporated. And it takes a long time for oil to evaporate. It's not water, all right? So it's evaporated so far. So we can tell by the rate of evaporation approximately when this was put there. Now this oil spot has been there longer than it was between the picture and the 31st of October 2005. It's been there longer. All right. Now, if Teresa Marie Halbach's vehicle was in the garage, the Suzuki had to come out of the garage in order to fit Teresa's vehicle in the garage. Well, that oil spot has not been ran over. There's no tracks. There's no tracks of pulling that Suzuki out. There's no tracks of putting Teresa Halbach's vehicle in there. There's no tracks of pulling Teresa Halbach's vehicle out of there. And there's no tracks of putting the Suzuki back in. Those are 4 tracks going across that oil, but that oil says that Suzuki has not moved. Now, Brendan Dassey, did you see Teresa Marie Halbach's vehicle in Stephen Avery's garage? Yes. No, you didn't. We know that you didn't because the evidence points to us that you are not telling us the truth, Brendan. So we believe Brendan over the forensic evidence of Chuck Earl knew this and Earl or Avery knew this. Steven's sitting there looking at the photograph. He knows this. But why doesn't... See, you got other people that are stupid talking for you. Yes, I'd like to have this idiot that knows nothing about automotive represent me. And he does all the talking and I sit there and do nothing. While I get railroaded right into prison. Okay? So, the story about Teresa's body in the back of her vehicle in Stephen Avery's garage just is not true. This isn't true. That Suzuki has been sitting there the whole time. Brendan even said that the Skidoo was right there next to it. And then no. So you got the Suzuki, you got the Skidoo, he even said that. So, the entire story of Teresa Marie Halbach's vehicle being inside Stephen Avery's garage is factually provable not true. Period. There's no getting around it. That is the fact. So therefore, if that was presented in the court and you hand the picture to it and you take Stephen Avery's or Steve Bogle's response video, you take my video, and you put it before the court, they're going to say, you know what? Yeah, this vehicle hasn't moved, but yet they were convicted on the vehicle moving. Now it's proven that the vehicle wasn't moving, and Teresa was not in the vehicle. And to go in there and get a bullet, slap some DNA on it and say Teresa was shot and killed in the garage, like the oil, the garage says, no, nobody killed anybody here. There's no evidence of blood. You didn't put a bucket underneath her, hang her up, string her up, and do the blood that way because you shot her in the head 10 times. 10 times. What Brendan did is he overtaxed the prosecution to present the evidence to substantiate his claim. All of Brendan's claims are unsubstantiated and they can't be substantiated. There's no blood, there's no brains, there's no bones, there's no hair, there's no evidence, anybody being shot 10 times. You know, that's 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Splatters all over the place. Mist. The mist. Nothing happened in that garage. The vehicle didn't move. There are tracks in it where you can see where he's using the engine hoist. There's tracks in it, 4 tracks in it, that he's using the crawler. Creeper. It's been a while. You're not going to get that creeper to go over to the grass. See, they're using the creeper now for her whole body to go out there and put into the fire. Okay. But the story changes. Now they sawed her all up and put her in little tiny pieces and stuff. Where'd that come from? Most of everything that Brendan says, who says it first? Who says it first? See, Rigger has an anthropologist that just got a box of bones from who knows where. She's sitting there, Eisenberg, she's sitting there at her office. Ding-dong. Yeah, delivery. Yeah, okay, here, thanks. Here's this box of bones. I'm supposed to determine from this box of bones. Teresa Marie Halbach. It was just a box of bones handed to her. You know, she didn't go out there. She didn't do what coroners are supposed to do. See, they didn't want the coroner because the coroner wasn't in on it. They didn't want the coroner. All right. They just went there and dug it up with a scoop and then sifted through it and see what happened. We're going to put Brendan in charge of production. He's the director. What would you have us do, Brendan? Well, Brendan has already directed this movie. We just have to write it out exactly the way Brendan says. Now, in the interview, I know they jump back and forth in time, but we'll put this back in time. And we'll straighten it all out. And then everything. And the way Brendan describes it, we will recreate that scene in simulation, okay? I'm not flying all the way over there, and we're not going to put it all together and have everybody out there. We just sit at home, do our own simulation. Okay. Now we use police. Okay. 911 operator. So there's the whole thing on 911 operator. So we have 911 operations center, which is a game. It's a game again. And as we go through this, we have police officer, we have detective, we have lawyer, we have judge, all simulation games. Sim. So I'm going to write the simulation game. This is my receipt, actually, by the way. This is dated, this is timed, this is everything. It's got all meta tags on it. So I'm good. But I'm writing a simulation game. Screenplay. And that's what $100,000 will get you. The other $100,000 is going to get you into Hollywood. We're going to make a full production out of it, exclusive to DailyWire Plus. Exclusive. DailyWire Plus. You've got me. For $100,000, you got the exclusive, and I will guarantee you that all 10 of my people will write their stuff out because they've already written their stuff out. They just don't know it yet. Okay? Millbilly. Millbilly. There's a little tag over here underneath all your videos. And if you press on it, it goes down, it's got transcription. So what you do is you transcribe everything that you said in the final draft. And you're making your screenplay. You've already made your screenplay, you just haven't formatted it yet. That's all. You haven't formatted it yet. So here's what happens. Here's what happens. Pam and Nicole are all sneaking around in the back 40, right? Looking for Teresa's 6P3 deep jewel green RAV4. Dark green. Poster. Picture. W Bay News. Okay? And here they are, and here's Pam up there, and she runs into, well, I'm kicking back in a lounge chair. Hey, Pam, yeah, what's up? You looking for Teresa's vehicle? I'm Rick. This is Millbilly. This is Chad. Yeah. This is Caroline Sherwood. You know, here's all of us. Yeah, this is Bruce McGuire. He's got a few questions for you, too. So, let's just sit back and let's talk about this vehicle. Nicole, come up here. There's a whole crowd. Nicole comes up. What? Come on in, Nicole. Pull up the seat. Here you go. Yeah. Got a little fire going, you know. Some marshmallows. Whatever. We're having a fucking picnic. Okay. And Nicole comes up. Pam. Before you call Jerry, Nicole, I want you to take a look at something. Here's a picture from W Bay News. Take a good look at it. Okay, now here's what it is. We got some double-sided tape on the back of it, and we put one on the driver's side window. We put some tape. Tape this up, Chad. Yeah, okay. Put some over there. Hey, Millbilly, hand me another one. Yeah, okay. You know, put one on the back window. On the side windows, on every window, including 2 on the front and 2 on the back. All of them along the side, all of them along the other side. And then look at it and tell me, that's Teresa's vehicle. W Bay 2, just like you see here, news you can trust, and they slap that on every single window. On the RAV, the K95, found on every auto salvage. Now, Pam, tell me this is Teresa's vehicle. We're sitting here. We've gone back in time. All of a sudden, we're just materialized there. What would have happened? If I was there and Millbilly was there, Chad Spencer Keller was there, well, no, they'd be over in the WWF ring. That's where they'd be. Anyway, Bruce McGuire was there. Caroline Sherwood was there. Laura Kett was there. Casey Oliver was there. Ali Apperson, you're there too. As a matter of fact, we got the whole entire tour bus. Just go back there, we got the bus sitting there, and we all just come off the bus. And we're all sitting there waiting for Pam to show up. Millbilly, myself, Chad, got all these pictures. We stuck them on every window. Is that Teresa's vehicle? Answer is no. Why do you have a problem with that? Why do you have a problem with that? Laura, Ali, Casey, why did you have a problem with that? Teresa's dead. Why do you have a problem with that? She's alive. Fuck you, Vic. It's Teresa's vehicle. Oh, really? No, it's not Teresa's vehicle. Why do you have a problem with that? Green, blue, Teresa's vehicle will not bend. Why? Why? For $1 million, you won't show up. That's the reason why 13 million, 26, whatever it is, 13 million. For $1 million, you won't show up. But you'll sit there and talk about it all you want. But when it comes to Teresa's not dead, can't have that. It's not her vehicle. Can't have that. It's not Teresa's key. Can't have that. That's 3. All this time you've been wishing Teresa dead. All this time you've been sitting there defending justice or whatever the hell it is. And the fact of the matter is, it comes down to this. You're all the fucking same. You're all the fucking same. That's what it is. And I've proven it. You won't show up. No matter what they pay. Because you selfish fuckers, you can't admit when you're wrong. I made a slew of videos. A slew of them. And I've been wrong here, wrong here, wrong here, wrong here, wrong here, wrong here. And you won't even come up and say that. You know? How can you leave with an empty truck and then go deposit the vehicle here, here, and here without having the vehicle deposited here, here, and here? Eh? What about the fish hatchery? Yeah. You send me a fish hatchery thing, right? I go, cool. We're going to go down this road of fish hatchery because it's fun. We're going to park it there. She's going to jump out, run across the river, go over there and go to the fish hatchery. But wrong. She's got to come back over here and jump back in the vehicle and drive away because of the fact that the fish hatchery wasn't, or the fish and game place wasn't fish and game on 2005. It was 2007, a couple of years later. See, so we just eliminated that. That's what it's for. You go through all my stuff if you want to. You go through all of my stuff, you'll find out every place I was wrong. The difference between us and you, the difference between me and you, I'll admit when I'm wrong. I got no problem with it. Why? Why? I'm not lying to you. I'm merely laying it out so that you can discover whether or not that has water. Whether or not that is true or not. It's immaterial, however. It's merely an exercise. If you can figure it out, using Final Draft, it'll show every single one of them up. That's the demonstration of it all. That's the demonstration of it all. I've got truth, I've got untruth. If you want to, go back. But you will find out for yourself that Final Draft will weed out every single untruth there is. Since I got back into it. You know, I was done with it. I walked away from it because it's just pounding your head against a brick wall. But now that convicted murder came out, this has a new energy. And here's what the problem you have is. You see, you put out, Teresa's dead, it's her RAV4, and it's her key. In spite of the reality that you're wrong. Now, we have this thing, it's called the Constitution of the United States of America. It's our social contract. And here's what this means. It means if they conspired to railroad, they didn't frame Stephen Avery, they railroaded him. Okay, so they railroaded him and he didn't get a fair trial. That's absolutely for sure. No fair trial whatsoever. That was kangaroo court, okay? Now then, Making a Murder put out a documentary. The thing with making a murderer, the documentary is the documentarians stayed their ass out of it, and they didn't have anybody in there narrating it. So they cannot be accused of warring against the Constitution of the United States of America. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Laura Nyrider, Stephen Drizzen. They can't be charged with warring against the Constitution of the United States of America. Yes, they can. Why? Because they got my information, and it has been confirmed by Steve Drizzen that he's got all my communications, and therefore he acknowledges that it's not Teresa's rapport. He acknowledges that that's not Teresa's key, and he acknowledges that Teresa is not dead. Okay? So, Laura Nyrider knows this. Laura Nyrider is, and not coming out and saying something about it, all right? She's warring against the Constitution. Stephen Drizzen, warring against the Constitution. At the time, they should have known if they didn't know. It was their responsibility to know. Ding Strange, Roan Buting, they warred against the Constitution of the United States of America in that courtroom, and we watched them do it live, basically put, a decade later. Then, we've got Kathleen T. Zellner that is going up and filing false petitions, false information, and she's defrauding the court every time she steps in there because Kathleen T. Zellner knows that Teresa is not dead. Kathleen T. Zellner knows that that's not Teresa's vehicle. Kathleen T. Zellner knows that that's not Teresa's key. She knows this, but she can't go to court on that. She's got to file false paperwork. It's false. She's filing knowingly false crap in the court. And the judge is accepting knowingly false crap in the court. They're running a scam, and it's our court, and they're running the scam. Stephen Avery just happens to be the scam of the week, okay? That's what. They know this. Crestfallen, Gondran, all those, they all know this. So they have to get Sean Rett to come by and try to shore it up. And then they still don't do that good of a job. Okay. I can't wait for the blood vial to come out tomorrow. I'll be there. You bet your ass I'll be there. I'm watching every single one of you. I got every single one of you. I'm going to watch all 10 episodes. And the 11th. Okay? Next, we can go into the lawyer sim. When we'll drop it into the lawyer sim. Then we'll go over to the boom, courtroom. These are all done in computer simulation games. Computer simulation games. The computer will not let you bend light. Okay? They won't let you. The simulation gaming has parameters, and these parameters will not allow you to do what Brendan says happened, and it will eke out every single inconsistency in his statements. So, Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, understand this right here, right now, that Suzuki has not been moved out of that garage, and Teresa's 6P3 Deep Jewel Green RAV4 she arrived with was not parked in that garage. Okay? That is patently not true. So why are you always just believing Brendan no matter what Brendan says, and it doesn't matter the evidence against what he says, Brendan's story that he read from Kiss the Girls is what this whole entire place is all made up of. So, Brendan, let's go make a story, a movie, okay? And we'll see if it fits the parameters of reality. Reality has rules. Reality has parameters. Reality has restrictions, okay? And this story has gone outside of the realm of the actual physical reality we call life. It's gone beyond that. It's just nothing but a mental head trip. But you can't reproduce it in real life. And we can prove that by simulation games. Simulation games. Game simulator. Ben, dude, it's like this, man. This is a new way of holding investigations and courts of law. You see, right now, courts of law, it's a wild, wild west. Anything goes, really. You know? What's the Constitution? Who's going to hold us responsible anyway? We're too powerful. What? We can do anything we want. And they do. But, what? It's a simulation game. Yes. Our officer is not corrupt. So we're going to put a simulation game character, Mark Wiegert. And another one, Fassbender. You know? And all of them. All of them. All the cast of carriers are on they're all games. Brendan's into gaming. So what this comes out to be is Brendan is gaming in his head. He's gaming. So we're going to put Brendan in charge of gaming. And anything, you just type into the simulator will have you guys do your task. And type in the simulator, and it goes, you can't do this. Why? Because, and it'll give it to us. There it is. See, the game is pre-programmed not to exceed reality. And if you try to exceed reality, you're going to not be able to. So it's going to go, where you're, Fassbender, okay. And it's going to bounce against these walls that, in making a murder, convicting a murder, just bypasses like they ain't even there. Reality does not exist. Just who said what, and will convict you on what you say. Well, guess what? The First Amendment covers Brendan Dassey. Okay? And what he said to you was beyond your ability to substantiate. So you had to compensate. And that proves that you had motivation. So you're in this you're motivated. You're motivated to get a conviction. Hell with the truth. It's about a conviction. It's about $36 million. That's what it's about. So when you put it into a game engine and you game it out and you just go by what Brendan says, nobody else, just Brendan. Then you build on top of that. But Brendan, you write the Brendan story down first exactly the way he said it, and then you try to fit the reality into it. And the reality is right there. Barb came home at 5 o'clock. Okay? You're not changing shit. You have to work within the parameters of reality. And you will not get a simulator that will agree with the guilty verdict. So run it through a simulator. There you go. And that's how we do court and law and all that now. It's an assimilation game. Completely get rid of all the courts. All the courts become museums. Get rid of all you just get rid of the jury, get rid of the judge, get rid of all that, and just run the game in the simulator. Just a simulator, and the simulator will tell you if you're right or wrong. If it's permissible or not permissible. See? That's how you weed out corruption. This is about weeding out corruption and completely having a brand new justice system reform. Okay? So, convicting a murder, making a murder is just child's play compared to DailyWire exclusive. But it won't be DailyWire exclusive for long. I'll go someplace else because somebody's going to pay my price. And if it's not you, it's going to be the next guy. But you just remember something, Ben. You knew about it, you still promoted it, and therefore Sean Reck is warring against the Constitution of the United States of America, and the Daily Wire and Candace Owens is warring against the Constitution of the United States of America after the fact. You could be charged and you could be imprisoned. Okay? Yeah. You better go back and start thinking about your series on convicting a murder once again. Because there's no way you can stop me from not writing the computer screenplay. Yeah. Yeah, you can't do that. And I'll sell it to your competitor, somebody else. And then, because you didn't pick me up, then you're warring against the Constitution and you go down with the rest of them. Okay? All the news media that didn't do this, that covered it up, was a part of it. It's called conspiracy against rights. See, now you're conspiring against rights. There's a whole law on it. I think that you might want to go check your attorney about this. Have them see my video, okay? Yeah. Deprivation of rights under color of law, deprivation of rights, accessory after the fact. If Kratz and all those guys are going down, they're going to go to prison, you can go right along with them, you know. It can be, a case can be made. But then, look at you. Look at your prestige. Daily Wire. Yeah. You're screwing yourself if you don't. Hire people that know what they're talking about. Not Sean Reck. Christ. No. Hire us. It's going to cost you $100,000 just to get these people to even speak with you because they're so freaking pissed off. It's going to cost you $10,000 at least. $10,000 per person. Break it down. No, it's $120,000. It's $120,000. And break it. Okay, 10 people. Just to keep it at 10. I got 10 people. I got to weed off 2 people. That's 10. $100,000. You got $100,000 at $10,000 a piece. You'll probably get their interest. Say you want to work with us. Okay. I think they'll come along. I think they'll be in. I think you can recruit them. I think you need a DailyWire original and not pick up somebody else's used underwear. Okay? What's wrong with you? You pick up somebody else's crap. You take along their baggage with them too. Such as, I don't know, warring against the Constitution of the United States of America. Pissing off probably every single person that's ever taken that oath. You know? Ben, Candace, Brenda, all you other guys. Oh, I noticed that you have people with just first names. You won't name who they are. Whoever. Fact of the matter is, they were just paid actors too, by the way. Fact of the matter is, this is what you're looking at. You're looking at prison time, dude. I'm here to try to warn you. I'm giving you fair warning. But in the end, truth is coming out. You better crap Teresa Marie Hallbach on 31st of October end of this month. Yeah. You better go look for her, you better go find her, and you better go have her on your show. Or something. But you got to do something, because if you guys keep this up and you don't pull this down and you don't put a disclaimer up there and you don't do that, you're in cahoots with conspiring against and accessory after the fact. I can't fix stupid. Okay, we can fix stupid, but it's going to hurt a hell of a lot.